Commentator and cartoonist Scott Adams has passed away. He did so on the day after Rush Limbaugh's birthday. On the night of Rush Limbaugh's birthday, we recorded here on the Pro Channel a tribute to he and Scott Adams. We're glad we did so. It occurred just before Scott passed away. We'd like to play it for you, honoring both of the men who went all the way to the end. Whatever you may believe of their beliefs, they believed in what they were doing, and they did it to their very last breath. This is our tribute. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a shout out tonight because it is El Rushbo's birthday. They're calling it his heavenly birthday, of course, because the talent on loan from God was given back. Scott Adams, though, before we go to Rushbo, Scott Adams, I got to give a shout out. This is so amazing. Scott Adams is in hospice. All right? Scott Adams, by all measurements, is probably in end-of-life care, an end-of-life situation. Scott Adams, the man who drew Dilbert, and once he was unable to draw Dilbert anymore because of cancer, he actually would dictate what would be in the panels and had somebody come in and draw it for him. He continued to podcast through. He is now doing the Scott Adams School, okay? The Scott Adams School, because he can't have coffee right now, or maybe ever, but so they've renamed it. No longer the simultaneous sip, no longer coffee with Scott Adams. The Scott Adams School. Scott Adams is bringing on his viewers while he is in hospice, and Scott Adams is continuing to podcast, talking about the relevant issues of the day. Folks, that guy is a hero. That guy is amazing. It's incredible. And this is what people miss. This is what people want. Authenticity. For him to do this while he is in hospice, he believes it. It was meaningful to him. It still is. And his viewers adore him and appreciate every single day they get with him. How wonderful is that? It's also the birthday of Rush Limbaugh. And on the official Rush Limbaugh X account, it says, on your birthday, we are reminded how impactful one's life can be. Rush continues to inspire us all to make the very best of our time here. With love, Catherine, his wife. We're going to play just a snippet of this that she put out there. We can't go long because of reasons, but folks, here is El Rushbo on his birthday. And by the way, as we're watching Scott Adams do what he's doing, they're in the same league. Both of these guys, they believed. You can like them, you can dislike them, you can agree, you can disagree, you can have a nuanced position. They believed what they said because they said it to the end. Rush Limbaugh did his show, and I even remember, I think his last show, he barely could get through it, but he did it. He did it because they believed in what they were doing and they loved it.
I've learned a lot in life, and I hope everybody does as they grow older. It's the whole point of things. And I remember back to the first days and weeks and years when this show started. And there was no grand strategy to it. It had a big overarching goal. Be great, be the best show, be the number one show, documented by ratings and audience research, the number one. That was the objective. There was no plan on how to do it, and there wasn't any 5-year plan, 3-year plan, or any of this. It was just me being myself.
Pause. Folks, the whole point of this segment, the whole point of the tribute, how desperate are we? Why are people leaving the legacy media in droves? Why are they searching out the new media now? Authenticity. Do you really believe the things you say, or will you switch 5 minutes from now as soon as somebody waves some money at you to say something else? There is a deep hunger across this country, across this world, for people who speak the truth and actually believe it. Panel, I'll hand it to you, but I have to hand it to both of these men. One we still have with us. One has passed on. But they both, this is how you know they believed it. They were not fake. What, you can agree or disagree, you can love or hate them, but they kept going until their bodies literally gave out. Guys, your thoughts on how much people are desiring this today?
Yeah, it's really, I want to say it's nice to see, but we wish it was under better circumstances, especially for Scott. But authenticity it's a currency now, and a lot of people just don't have it. A lot of people are authentically poor. It's a lot of what you said, and that's why I think what we do here, what the pro show does here, what that Park Place does, what a lot of our YouTuber friends do is put out a form of authenticity. Even when we're wrong about things, we're willing to talk about the things we get wrong, but we're also willing to talk about the things that we believe to be right until proven otherwise. You don't have that anymore with the modern news. I mean, even CBS is talking about how they're trying to make some changes and be more authentic, but like I've said in the past, like we'll believe it when we see it. Seeing is believing.
Sure.
It's very hard to take that seriously. But you look at that, that's why YouTubing and podcasting has exploded, because I mean, everything that Rush said here resonate, whether you agree with his politics or not, as you were saying, Pro, it doesn't matter. What he's saying is absolutely true. It's just a matter of putting out the best you possibly can. And it's because you believe it's the best. And I think that we've lost that. We've really lost that where it's all catered to someone's agenda. And that doesn't mean political agenda. Most of the time it means corporate agenda. And that has that's entirely inauthentic to normal, regular people. We've really lost that. So it's nice to see what Scott's doing here. I
mean, it's amazing. It's heroic. The idea that you would still give people your time. I mean, Scott Adams has said that he wants to be useful. That's his desire. Folks, the idea that you would be in this position, most people are just trying to sleep and let it pass. And this man is getting up every day and finding meaning at a time that it's okay. Nobody would hold it against him if he said, I'm tired now. And he's getting a podcast ready to go, researched in hospice care. It's unbelievable, Lauren. It's unbelievable.
There's a couple other similarities that I would point out between Scott Adams and Rush Limbaugh, and that is that they both had a talent through comedic phrasing to point out the absurdities of life. That's what he did with his Dilbert comic strip. He was just pointing out things that were true, but absurd. And there came a point at which that was no longer in fashion. That's what got him canceled. And the death of comedy is one of the bellwethers of any republic. That's why Scott and Rush can be discussed in the same space. But beyond that, both of them were authors of books. And that's one of the great things about both of them, is that Rush is gone now. Scott won't be with us forever. But when he is gone, their thoughts are preserved. And while I didn't agree with everything that Scott wrote, he was a guy who clearly thought deeply about a lot of different things and had fascinating thoughts. So you can't go wrong by picking up their books and getting an idea about how these guys thought.
I may give away my identity with this one, but I'll say this, because some people may, they may remember this. When I would go into conference rooms, when I would go into speeches, whatever, in my former pro life, on every dry erase board, I'm talking about for like 15 years, I would draw a tiny Dogbert. And there's a famous Dogbert comic where he says, out, out, you demons of stupidity. And I would write that with little Dogbert, and just such fun, such fun stuff.
That was you?
Oh, no! Hey, I'll tell you one more thing, folks. El Rushbo, they would say mega dittos, right, when they came on his show. We don't have dittos around here. In our emoji list for members, we have kudos. Can I call them, the only time we'll do this, can I call them mega kudos?
Of course.
Folks, could you fill the chat in honor, in respect for Rush's birthday and for what Scott Adams is doing? Fill the chat with mega kudos on behalf of the Pro Show. That would make me very happy. And let's celebrate the greats and what they're doing. Lou, final word on this. It's amazing the amount of strength that both of these guys have shown, and again, not everybody agrees with everything they said, of course, but this is heroic to go all the way to the end with what you believe.
I don't want to trivialize in any way their amazing dedication, but they're staying to the end of the movie, aren't they?
That's a great line. I can't.
Okay.
Holy moly, Lou.
So there's that. But this whole idea of authenticity works if it's from you. If it's other people trying to invent it. And the classic example I can see is, and I hate to get too political here, Tim Waltz. They said, well, we've got the ethnic alternate sexual whatever tied up with our candidate. Who are we going to get for a Veep? I know. We need an all-American hetero male with a family, and he tinkers with his car, and he served in the military, and here's this great guy. No, turns out he's not.
All-American fraudster.
But I mean, it's like you can't, if the people doing the programming of the AI get it wrong, the result is going to be very wrong, and nobody's going to buy it. That's the lesson of that.
Now, I want to bring in a guy, and Lou, I'm still impressed with the quote, they stayed till the end of the movie. Lauren he's frazzled over that one. I want to bring in, no, he's not. Lauren's never frazzled. I want to bring in a guy who I know, even though he's just joining us, he'll have something to say on this particular topic. Andy, we are celebrating the strength and the determination of Scott Adams on Rush Limbaugh's birthday, and we're remembering that Rush did the same thing, doing their podcast, doing their radio shows all the way to the very, very end when they didn't have to, but it was what they wanted to do. It was so meaningful that even when end of life care was there, they were still researching the topics of the day and bringing the news our way. They loved it. Andy, that's what people want today, is that authenticity from the people that speak to them.
Yeah, the conviction that you have that something means that much to you, that you're willing to give up the limited time that you have. And I think really limited time is how we should be viewing everything. It's kind of like Hollywood. This is their mistake. They thought that they would have enough time forever. They would own this thing forever. But time's a limited resource, and the more you have pressing on you, the more time we waste. It's like everybody has things they're trying to get done. They sit there doom scrolling on their social media and things rather than actually accomplishing something. And guys like Scott Adams are really saying, you know what? If what I'm doing is actually having some kind of impact, if I believe that this needs to be out there, somebody needs to hear this, then I'm going to take what little time I have and I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. And I look at guys like Dennis Prager. He unfortunately suffered a fall, I think, last year, and paralyzed from the neck down, but he's still speaking, and he's still got a very sharp mind, and he's looking at things from a common sense standpoint. And I remember when his videos started coming out, this Prager University, and just little 5-minute video clips, just trying to get people to think a little bit differently than what they're indoctrinated in. And everyone came out and attacked him that this is disinformation, all this stuff, because it's not coming from the Howard Zinns of the world that just look at the United States as being this horrible, horrible thing. Yep. And we used to have this idea where America was exceptional because we gave people opportunities to do things. We allowed them to follow through with their own drive and creativity, which is rare in the world. And when you see people like this that are willing to go out there, here's this man that picked up his pencil and drew a cartoon and made these funny sketches that everybody laughed at until you found out that he wasn't on your side. And then you had to
they banned
him. Yes. Yeah. And same thing with Rush Limbaugh. I mean, he was, and he was antagonistic. He was but if you boiled down, when he would sit down and he would have a conversation about things and kind of explain things a little more thoroughly, it was hard to argue facts. But facts usually don't come into play with a lot of people. It's all emotion.
Andy, you brought up a great point. We have lost so many voices, and hopefully most of them temporarily. But we don't have Dr. Jordan B. Peterson speaking right now due to illness. and he's been out of commission for months, and we don't know if he's going to come back. We don't know. We've lost Charlie Kirk, and that's it. And that, of course, through malicious means. I just saw that Victor Davis Hanson has announced that he's got a health concern, and he's not going to be able to do his show anymore.
He's doing well in recovery, but it was a major, major deal.
We hope he's able to come back.
And
These
happily,
voices.
he recorded a lot of shows to be played during the interim. So if you go there, you can hear his views. So
the thing is, we need, what is the Pareto principle? The idea that the vast majority of the people we listen to come from a tiny minority of the people who are attempting to do so because they're just that good. And on the right or the left, you need voices of sanity right now, but you also need voices of authenticity. And hopefully, folks, you can find that. We would love to be one of those kinds of places when it comes to entertainment. We know our lane. We want to stay in it. But wherever you're going for politics or world news or entertainment or wherever, video games, whatever it might be, find voices that are authentic and really believe what they're telling you. Because otherwise, it's just a facade. Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center, the mainstream middle where money is made is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day because sharing time with you is a great honor, and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. Highest IQ on the internet, that's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.